Welcome back to another demo video. Today I'm very excited to bring you one of my favorite songs from the album, Vestigial Friends. This is a track that has a very special place in my heart. I think this is one of the better soft rock songs that my band came up with, and it was a joint effort between all five of us at the time. And much like The Unspeakable Debt, the songwriting process behind this track was very organic and all happened in one afternoon. In this session here, I have two tracks for you today. We have one track, which is a cell phone recording from the summer of 2018. This was the afternoon that we came up with the song, and we just decided let's try to see if we can play it through all the way. And the second track here is an interlude idea, given some harmonics and a very specific pedal, which I can detail after the playthrough. Brandon came in with a guitar riff, some chords for a verse and a chorus, and there's a lead line, a kind of lullaby-esque sound that I just came up with on the spot, running it through this particular pedal, which gives it that warbly sound, and we had a motif. So I won't get ahead of it too much before I talk about the inspiration of the song and do a small breakdown. Here is the track. All right, so that's the self-in recording demo that we have. Obviously, need to clean up a lot of the playing. The choice of chords for the various sections, I think, are really good, but the voicings themselves are a little sour. They're a little bass heavy. I can detail more on this once we're doing the song production, but I'm looking to change those voicings and combine them in multi-part recordings. So you record the high part of the voicing and then the low part of the voicing separately. And once you edit them together, it makes them sound cleaner and fuller than trying to play the whole thing, because that makes it sound slightly off with the intonation of the instrument. Anyways, all those details will be fleshed out during the production. I'm very proud of the ending section, specifically from the quiet part with just the guitar and the vocals. I think our vocal delivery there is going to be key, and the layering of the vocals as well. As a very amateur guitarist, I'm very proud of this song for a couple reasons. The first being the intro melody. It was made up on the fly based upon Brandon's chords, and I kind of just played in what felt right at the time. And an important part of that was this, the Rainbow Machine. The Rainbow Machine enables me to have a chorus-like quality while not quite being a chorus. It definitely has that sound, which I'm sure you've heard before, but we don't really go for that in our recordings. I use it very subtly. It's a key part of the melody, and it really makes that part pop. The second thing I'm very proud of is the ending solo. The ending solo, if you want to call it that, is very ghostly and haunting, and it was created again impromptu during the sessions in the garage, and it was made possible through a couple of key pieces. The first being slide. So at the time I played with a brass slide, but I plan on using glass slide for even smoother response. The second portion of the sound, which is absolutely vital and cannot be replicated anywhere else, is the use of the Mel 9. The Mel 9 truly is a one-of-a-kind pedal, and even though I have a Kemper and I have a lot of digital tools at my disposal, there's nothing that can replace the sound of the choir or the flute on that pedal. And it just gives you a texture that is just irreplaceable. And the last portion, which is going to be slightly different than what was used in this recording, is going to be the afterneath. This pedal gives you absolutely cavernous reverb sounds. I used an MXR reverb for this recording, and that gave me a really great wash, but I'm planning on using the afterneath to give me more space. With all that in mind, I think if we clean up the vocals, we clean up the chord voicings, we get some bass and drums that are nice and tight and dry for this song, I think this song is going to be one of the better songs, and I'm going to be very proud to release this track. Second in the session, you'll see this small interlude. This interlude is designed to go either before or after this track, and it's going to bleed into the next track, Revisionist History. Here it is. It's on flute. As you heard, it's a little bit of a foreboding sound. I think it will blend really nicely into Revisionist History. Again, it utilizes the flute setting on the Mel 9 and just gives you just an awesome sound that I haven't been able to find a replacement for in any digital library. Now that you've heard the demos, let's discuss the tarot card associated with this song. That is the Five of Swords. Pictured in the Five of Swords is an individual who would be the speaker in this track, picking up the swords of those that have left him behind. There are two individuals in the background having dropped their swords and that are moving away from the subject in the picture. This, to us at least, represents our friends or colleagues that have fallen away in life as we proceed forward. And I think it's very important to reflect upon this phenomenon in life, because life has many seasons, and as Mellencamp tells us, life goes on long after the thrill of living is gone. And I think that young people need to hear this. Young people need to understand that life goes on after the thrill of youth passes you by. In life, sometimes we go down certain paths and others do not follow us for good, bad, or indifferent reasons. It's important to reflect on those that you find around you and to stay the path when your purpose is meaningful. Everyone in the band had their own interpretation of what the song meant to them, but that's mine. Now that we've discussed the tarot card and a little bit of background behind the song, let's go to the song chart. Here you can see the chords. These will be revoiced, as I mentioned earlier, in order to make them sing a little better on the guitar. And some of these lyrics will change, but this is the core of the hook or the first verse. The pre-chorus, very proud of the pre-chorus. It's got a very uplifting sense to it, while at the same time being sort of melancholic. Melancholic is how I would describe this song. And then chorus one, I just feel once we nail these chords, and they're just huge, soaring, open chords, this is going to sound massive, and I'm really looking forward to producing this chorus. Also, we just managed to fit the perfect number of words with just a beautiful phrasing for it. I think it's one of our best choruses. Can't get enough of it. And then we decided to call the little jam section where we jam over various modes of A, the Jam Hamlet. Because later on in the song, we come back to it, we call it Jam Town, which we sort of do a little bit of a jam band-esque sound to it. I think Burton or somebody mentioned this during one of the practices, and I had to name this part that. Further on, the last pre-chorus, the quieter one, I really like this one. I think this is just going to be Zach, just on his own with the guitars, and very light drum and bass. The bass here also sounds great. In my demo that I did last year for this song, which I don't have the file for in this session, the bass here is very expressive and very deep, and it sort of really complements the vocal. And then the outro is just awesome. I really like the marching beat and the guitar. The whole outro solo is just phenomenal. So I've gushed enough about the song. I'm really looking forward to making it. I'm very excited about this track in particular. This track, Spectres, and From Ritual to Romance are three of my favorite tracks on this album, and I find myself very fortunate, and I'm very grateful that I have the opportunity to work, produce, and release these songs to the world, and hopefully to all of you. So next time we will be discussing the penultimate track on the album, Revisionist History, before finally going to the last song on the album, From Ritual to Romance, in the 10th and final demo series video. Thank you for your time.